welcome back to Two Nigerian Women. My name is Ibukun.
Welcome, guys. My name is Abidemi, and we're here today with another fun conversation. Hopefully, you can join us at some point.
Mm.
I keep forgetting to mention that we now have a TikTok account, and we're going to start having live sessions on TikTok. So you can gift us if you want to, or you can just chat with us, ask us questions, spontaneous questions. We'll try our possible best to respond, but within reason. But if it's not something that we can respond to, maybe we'll get back to you privately, or maybe we won't. But we have a TikTok account, and it's at Two Nigerian Women. Please leave your likes, your comment, your shares. Follow us as well. Also on YouTube, you can as well do same. I don't want to, because we have a lot to talk about. I don't want to forget. That's why I'm mentioning it at the beginning. And sometimes we need spontaneity. So yes, this is me being spontaneous,
Well
and I
done.
hope you're. So back to our topic of conversation. I will hand it over to Ibukun.
Okay, we're talking about choosing wisely because we recorded in our prior episode a story time where we shared about Emmanuel and Ephia and what Emmanuel was now going through based off of his children not wanting to relate with him. And just so to do a very quick recap, it was based off of Emmanuel leaving the house, divorcing Ephia, and a couple of decades later, the children are not relating for a number of reasons. So Bidemi highlighted on this, and it made her very sad. The last episode was sad for Bidemi, but it was along the lines of where did this all start? How did Emmanuel find himself in this position? And we thought, let's talk about it because that's what we do. Let's talk about it. And these are two friends. The whole premise of our podcast are two friends just having a normal conversation. We just happen to be Nigerian by origin, and therefore we come in with the Nigerian sarcasm and humor. But so bear with us as we talk through this.
Yeah.
Emmanuel got married to Ephia because his parents made sure he did, because he had gotten Ephia pregnant. Sissy, where do we go with this?
I don't. I sincerely think that there are a lot of children that are in that type of situation now. They're not kids anymore. They're young adults, or they're adults, or even mature adults that have gone through it, are going through it, and these stories relate to them. We've been having, unfortunately, we can't share a couple of emails just because we need to find a way to word it out. But we keep hearing these kind of stories, and for me, I want to err on the side of caution, thinking about the children that are being impacted by these decisions that their parents have made without thinking about the future. Yes, you cannot force yourself to stay in a loveless marriage. Yes, if you don't have any feelings for this person and you think that there's nothing you can do to walk through it, it's better to walk away, but walk away with kindness.
Mm,
In the end, these situations or instances have an impact on your kids in future. Even managing relationships, I have friends that have just refused to settle down because of being scarred based on what they've been through in their parents' marriages. Even relatives, it's really crazy because they have never been in a loving home where the parents genuinely love each other. They don't know what love entails. So to a certain extent, this is strive every day. They'll rather not settle down with anybody else and just live single and be happy than
mm,
have their happiness interrupted or hinged on another individual that's only going to take advantage of them, abuse them, use them, and also underappreciate them. It's really, really sad. And
mm,
there are certain individuals that, just like I said on our last episode, marriage isn't for everyone. And sometimes these kind of situations, what they've been through as kids, impact on their future situations. They don't want to, they'll have an understanding. I have a friend that just refuses to settle down anymore because she has been in a relationship that was very beautiful. The husband passed, and she just
mm,
said, I'm not going to get married anymore. I want to have children. And it doesn't matter if I
mm,
don't even settle down with that person, I'm having a kid, it doesn't matter. Though I have tried to discourage her, but people are going to do what they're going to do. So in the end, she's an adult. All I can do is advise as best as I can. And sometimes when people come to you with these things, they're not asking for your opinion, they've already made up their mind. Sometimes They
True.
want you to discourage them, but a lot of the times they've made up their mind, and that's why they have the boldness to speak that this is what I want to do. So there's nothing much that I can do as a friend just to support her and just be there for her. I think that's the most
Mm,
important thing. But there
mhm,
are people. There's also another one that's gone through an abusive marriage and doesn't want to get married anymore. Just wants to have kids, and she didn't have kids with her ex-husband. And you have situations like that. Where do you draw the line? Even when it comes to men, I have a friend that moved to the UK with his family. They moved from Nigeria with two kids, I think
mm,
two, and then they found out that the wife is expecting in the UK. And it's not been easy. He had to do lots of jobs while schooling, while bringing up these children. They then decided, as they're having these kids, that they might not want to keep the child that they're having.
mm,
And along the lines, they change their mind. They want to keep the child, but the wife is underappreciative of
mm,
this, my friend. And it seems to be a recurring theme. There's a lot of spousal abuse. There is a lot of um like I said, underappreciativeness. It just comes. It's a whole umbrella term. There are a lot of things that are under that umbrella, but
mm.
it's almost like we're in this for the kids. It's no more about us. But when it starts getting toxic, where do you draw the line?
Well,
Where
okay,
do you
so
draw?
see, back to choice, choosing wisely, because a
Mm,
lot of these situations, they're already in it, right?
mm,
But like you said, a lot of people come, they've already made up their mind, and they almost see them speaking it out as validation of their
mm,
decision as opposed to seeking counsel. And if I could go back to the Bible, a very wise man wrote, in multitude of counsel, there is safety. Yeah,
mm.
Solomon. I think it was Solomon that it was a proverb. Look, refer to the Bible.
Yes.
Apologies if I quoted, but
Very.
I know
Yeah.
that verse is in there. In the multitude of counsel, there is safety. And a lot
Mm,
of us are used to making decisions on our own, whether it stems from a place of not having the right support system, or
mm,
because you're so independent, you do not believe you should consult with anyone. But genuinely, there's a place for counsel in making a choice. And the choice we were referring to with Emmanuel and Ephia was the choice of who he got married to,
yes.
and it was as a consequence of him, having relations that he was not ready to have, obviously, and
Mm,
then getting her pregnant. Now, choices have impact. Just like we were saying in that episode, what you sow you will reap. You've sowed a certain decision, and the consequence you're now reaping 20 years down the line, which is why it's important to choose wisely. So let us talk about a friend that is considering having a child. They don't want a relationship and they have a child. Are you thinking 1 month from now? Or are you even thinking 20 years from now? Are you
mm,
thinking what that child would ask you when they are six and another child in school is saying, "Oh, my father and I are doing this. Can you come with your father to
mm.
this?" And they're like, "I don't have a father." Are you thinking of that impact? And a lot of people are like, "Oh, they'll be fine. They'll be
Yeah,
fine."
some people don't think so. What about the ones that have no fathers, which is a valid reason? But having said that, I have also another situation. Another friend of mine
Mm,
that met a lady that just
mhm,
wanted to. They just started to have a kid together, and they're both co-parenting, living separate individual lives. The child lives with the mom, who I don't really know, but I see pictures, and the dad is on his own, but they're co-parenting as best, and the child is bearing the father's name. So they are
and you
situated. There
think
are
that child
people.
is fine, right?
No,
You think
no,
that
it's
child
a
is
baby
fine?
anyway. I don't.
I'm just establishing a foundation. You would think that
I
child
should.
is
I
fine.
think. I should think so for now because they,
Okay.
she is, or he or she is oblivious of whatever the situation is. Maybe as they get older, it will be different. But for now, all is well and all seems well. But that we also have to see, as much as we want to, we are trying to rationally think about these things.
Mm-hmm.
Life happens. There are a lot of people that have no parents. There are a lot of people that have no mom or no dad. There are a lot of people that
Mm,
their fathers passed away or their mothers passed away and they are living.
true.
So we cannot say because somebody has, or some people say, oh, it was a one off, I'm keeping this child. We can't say that because these children are in single parent homes, they will not do well. I just refuse to
On.
believe that, especially in this day and age. There's a lot that is going on, and there are a lot of children that are in two parent families that are actually not doing so well. I'm not making an excuse for these kind of things, but that is not my own situation, and I won't want my children to go through those kind of things. But in event that these kind of things happen, because life is full of curveballs in people's lives, not mine, but in
Mm,
people's lives, they
mm,
have to go on with life as best
mhm,
as they can
mm.
in the best possible way. Give their children the very best and give themselves the very best. So what can they do?
Well, this is the thing. It's not about that because, like I said, you're already in the situation. A choice was made. The
Mm,
point is when you do make your choices, how far into the future do you consider the impact of your choices, or do you
mm,
not even take time to do that? Because someone would say it was in the heat of the moment, it was
yeah.
passion. I just loved her. I was blinded by everything. It didn't matter what he said or did to me, he was mine, and therefore I had him. It could be a number of things. And
Mm,
to be fair, choice is not necessarily always made objectively.
yeah.
There are sayings. Well, a lot of people say I had no choice. I had no choice in the matter. It just happened. And
Mm,
that is a scary place to be. And I'm not saying that wouldn't happen in certain times, but if when you do have control and you are the one who made that choice, you made that choice. The question is, how did you go about making the choice? So, for example, Sissy, this friend that came to tell you what she was going to do, like you said, she wasn't asking for cancer. She was just almost like, so you don't ask questions, Bidemi. This is what is happening. When you see me pregnant with child, it is not immaculate conception. I chose to get pregnant in this way. It's interesting, and it's your choice. Obviously you're grown. Yeah, well, hopefully you're grown and you've made that choice. How wise is the choice? Or you don't care? If you don't care, permission to switch off. But if you do care, you have made a lifetime choice on, let's use the example, on having a child without having the two parents in, let's not say even legal, because a lot of people just see marriage as legal. So I don't want to debate the point of what marriage is to you,
mm,
but in a
mm,
committed relationship where there is no stepping outside. We're not talking open relationship. You do whatever you want to do in your house, I'll do whatever I want to do in mine. Have you thought of the impact it will have on that child long term? We live in a society right now where there are so many disenfranchised people for many reasons, but there are people because they don't even understand where their trauma is coming from. They don't know. They are just traumatized. We don't know whether it is because they didn't have a father in the house or mother in the house. We do not know if it is because they saw something that their parents didn't even know they saw. And as a result, they've grown up with a certain belief system that has informed their life decisions. This is the sort of society we live in right now. So we're saying, okay, the choice you made, was it made wisely? That is the question.
mm. I think also for a lot of individuals, just as we never know what's around the corner, we will tackle it as it comes. And I think that's just life. I've
Mm,
had friends that have discussed this with me, and to them, I was being judgy, and I don't have a relationship with them anymore. And I'm
mm,
also trying to see myself as someone, my situation is different. I'm married, and for a
mhm,
lot of people, they're not that lucky. So I need to sometimes, because it almost feels like I'm on some kind of moral high ground, I need to
mm,
not be on that and just be as open minded
mm,
as
mm,
I can be to hear them out.
Mm.
And I think it's very important, even as Christians. Yes, we are in this world, we are not of this world, but we can also be a source of encouragement and also of support, or even counsel, wise counsel to people around us. And
Mhm.
sometimes people just don't want to hear what is the right thing. They want to do what they want to do, and then they will revert back to you when that time comes. And it's
Mhm.
left for us a lot of times to actually hear people out and be that voice of reasoning, not in a judgy way, or
Mhm.
also just be a listening ear. And I think to a certain extent it is very important. I have a family member that seems to be having kids with lots of random people.
Mm.
um the family member is based in Nigeria, lots of random, and then recently this family member contacted myself and said he's expecting again. Where
Mm.
am I gonna, not married,
Mm.
maybe engaged for a long time and then breaks up. But what can I do? This is somebody that's not young.
Mm.
You are in your 40s. What am
Mhm.
I going to tell you? What am I going to tell you that's going to make you not do what you want? You've already done what you want to do. So when you look at that, people come to you and just tell you, they're not asking you for your own opinion, or they're just mentioning it just perhaps you happen to hear. Don't take it personal, because this is what I've decided to do.
Mhm.
And we can say we're choosing wisely. We've tried to, for a lot of people, our decisions are not even wise. Just like
Mhm.
we're seeing a lot of people's decisions not being wise.
Mm.
So I think it's very important that in this day and age, we don't we don't lose our sense of reasoning a lot of
Okay.
the times when we're dealing with people that are struggling with certain situations.
Mm.
Because I've had a friend that told me it's easier said than done. You're just saying it because
Of
you don't
course.
even how these things. And I just had to take a step back and
Mm.
know. And even situations that has to do with her life, she refuses to tell me because she doesn't know how I'm going to see her.
Which is
And
fine. It's
with a certain extent,
mm.
without losing that friendship or losing that support, because this friend has been there for me in more ways than one, and I have been there for her in more ways than one. I have
Mm.
to sometimes keep my mouth shut. It
And
doesn't
there
mean
is a time for that. There is
it
definitely a
doesn't
time
mean
for
that
that.
I don't want to say it, or I don't have something to say, but I am very conscious of looking at it from another angle, and my bread is buttered, yours is not really buttered, so I need to
Mm.
not look at try to give you advice based on me. I'm trying to give you advice based on you, or just listen. So I've had to bite my tongue a lot of the times.
Okay, so Sissy, you're right because your perspective is not always the same. So you and I have different perspectives on the myriad of things. But
Mm,
this is the thing, like you said, some that in the instance of the friend who wants to have a baby, she didn't come asking for a cancel. You could
mm.
try to offer cancel, but it's probably not the right thing to do at that point in
At the
time.
right time.
Exactly. Maybe at the right time, you ease the conversation into not even cancel as such, but almost like a series of questions to ask her if she is sure, because you are genuinely concerned about her. Not that you're
Mm,
trying to impose your will on her, or you must do it my way, or what I see to be the right way, or no way at all. That's not what you are a friend for. So
mm,
to the point of, okay, let us look at this in two ways. Someone who wants cancel and someone who doesn't care for the
mm,
cancel. If we go to the person who doesn't care for the cancel, because let's address that, leave them to God, pray, move on. Love them from afar if you need to, but
mm,
they don't want it, move on. For those that want cancel, multitude of cancel, once again, as the quote, there is safety. If you come and you say this is what you want to do, and you have indeed thought about it, and then you say it's because you do not understand, I'm sorry, I don't need to understand in order to help you through a cancel. Because there is an adage that this, well, it's a proverb or it's a saying, experience is the teacher of fools.
mm.
You
No, I've never heard that one. I've heard experience is the best teacher.
Ah, no, there's also experience as the teacher of fools. Do you know why? Because some people would say, I want to experience it myself. My own is different from everyone else. You know, there are people like that where their situation is so unique, it has never happened to anyone else in the world. Solomon once again said, there is nothing new under the sun.
Um,
Whatever it is you are thinking is unique to you. Many, many,
mm,
many people have gone through it before. I jest, but I am also quite serious as well. Whatever it is that you're experiencing, yes, you've been through the ringer and you've decided this is what you now want to do. Someone has also made that decision and they're experiencing the consequences later on in life. Let me tell you, and you can Google this, Kerry Washington, she's an actress. She
mm.
discovered in her 40s that her mom used a sperm donor in a decade where it was unheard of. You've not heard of this, Sissy? Your
No.
face. Her mom used a sperm donor, and only her father, of course, knew. Her father, unfortunately, could not conceive naturally. So Kerry
Mm.
Washington is like, oh gosh, I forget her
140,
age.
you think?
If yeah, so maybe she's like late 70s, possibly, you know,
Mm.
and it was unheard of, IVF and things like that. But a mom, independent, woman and whatnot, um, pretty much went down that route. So please, I'm
Mm-hmm.
paraphrasing a story. You can refer to the good old YouTube and Google to listen to her share it.
Never
And she
heard
wrote
it
a
before.
book. She used a sperm donor. The way
Wow.
she found out, because our parents were committed to taking it to the grave with them. The way she
Mm.
found out, she was a celebrity. She decided to do who do you think you are kind of thing.
Mm.
Exactly. Where they did the DNA test, she found out she was not her father's child. Can you imagine that process? She explains it. She explains all the myriad of information that she emotions that she went through when she got the information. There is an impact. You can't just presume it will be fine. You can't. It could be, and we hope it is, but more often than not, there is a significant impact on what you choose. And that's what we're discussing. Like, generally, if you think you are so unique, this is not for you. But for someone
But
out there,
every decision
mhm,
ha- has repercussions, good or bad.
some people will tell you that is not in their case, and like I said, it's not for them. We're talking for people who genuinely want to really consider what's going on, and we're saying multitude of counsel there is wisdom. That is from the Bible, yes, but it's also my opinion and experience as well. If you have
Mm.
a support system you can consult, and there are a good support system, because there are some bad advisors out there, then
Hmm.
consult with them. Don't go out on a limb thinking your own will be different. There is a lot of experience out there. No one is unique to that extent. So that I would conclude with that. There is safety in multitude of counsel. Key into your support system. Sissy, over to you.
Okay, so I have a question for you.
Okay.
If you knew Emmanuel,
Mhm.
however, when he was a young man, what advice would you have given him in hindsight?
In hindsight, exactly. In hindsight, and it would not have been easy. Do not marry that woman. Do not. Do not. It's ruined his life. Genuinely. If you see him now, it's ruined his
Derailed his destiny.
exactly. And not that it was irredeemable, but Efia was not interested in doing anything to redeem
Okay.
it. Yeah.
That's it's I don't know. It's for me, I just still keep thinking because
Mm,
decision has led to other decisions that have ended up in him, like in this situation. And there are a
mm,
lot of people that are going through tough decisions like that.
mm,
I read a story yesterday. I can't remember exactly what the story was
mm,
on Twitter, but it's a family here. Nigerian.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the woman refuses to work, refuses to do everything. He does everything, takes care of the children, does it
Mm-hmm.
all. And I think the person that wrote it was asking what our advice was. I said, for me, this is a problem. He needs to end this relationship because if it just so happens that she has some kind of financial freedom, she's going to abuse. She's already abusing him. She's going to abuse him. Then, if it happens that she now discovers that she has some kind of leverage, she will take it to advantage. And it is a problem because he's not resting. He is working hours and hours on end. He's going to school. He's working.
Mm-hmm.
She's not interested in working, not interested in doing anything at all. So he's having to bear the brunt of all that. She will even clean the house. Oh, yeah, that was the thing. Won't clean the house, won't cook, won't do chores. So he's doing all of that while working.
Sorry,
And
so
that is
what's
a
she
bad
doing?
situation.
What's she
I
doing?
can't remember. I need to go back and read it. Hopefully I can find it. But that's a
Mm.
burnout situation because that's somebody's son, brother, cousin, father. That is death. Ikure knocking on their door. Because we've had situations like this week. I had read 3 days ago. A
Mm.
guy, a neurologist, came into the UK,
Mm.
was on his way to get his BRP and collapsed and died. He came in the day before, not up to 24 hours. So obviously, DVT, deep vein thrombosis, that can be the only thing. And
Oh
a lot
no.
of them are not coming straight. They're transiting Turkey, they're transiting Egypt, they're transiting other countries. So they're spending 20, 21 odd hours before they get to their country of destination.
Mm.
Emirates, all of that. This guy died. So now they're having to, and he came to school, right?
Mm.
Yeah, so they're having to organize how they're going to send his body back to Nigeria. He didn't even spend up to 24 hours, 48 hours in the country. He died.
Mm.
And that's an
Mm.
accident waiting to happen. So, and he came as a single guy. There's not family. He came on
Mm.
his own. I don't know if he has family. They didn't give a lot of background story. But you have
Mm.
situations like that. Maybe if
Mhm.
he had stayed in Nigeria, he wouldn't have died.
Mm.
Maybe. So
Maybe.
when you look at things, a lot of things are happening. And this is someone's son that was
Mm.
coming for a better future. Maybe sold everything. Maybe the family sold it all, and they are here. But
Mhm.
it's just decisions, choosing wisely. It's just a lot. And may we not be tempted in our time or hour of need, but these things are happening. These
They are.
things are reality for a lot of people.
Yes.
So I'm just I think I'm just a bit somber. I've not been in a
Yeah.
very good mood because I think about these things
Mm.
and I just wonder, where does someone get a break? There are a lot of immigrants. I'm talking about the Nigerian angle because we're Nigerians, but there are a lot of people that are going through similar stuff that are not even Nigerians. Where do they get a break? Where? Where? So
Is that the angle to look at it though? Is it about them getting a break? Or is it about back to the topic of today, the choice made? So he was coming here for what was considered a better life. He didn't even
and
get
what
a chance.
what he went through is what he's I think his profession, whatever it is that has to do, maybe cardiologist, I'm not sure, but that's what it is. He's worked
Is
all they have done professional exams in Nigeria, couldn't come and work and then
oh
look.
wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is tragic.
Paid
To
for
find out.
accommodation,
Mm,
gotten a job just to pick up his
mm.
card so he could resume work. And he's no more.
That is sad. And I don't know it's about catching a break as such, because for every story like that, there are 10 others where they did come into the country, they brought over their family, they had family, they are now prospering and and living a good life. It's tomorrow is not promised, I think is
Hmm.
key to say here. It's not necessarily based on choices. Even it could just have been the time unfortunately coincided with um so many other objectives, spiritually as well as physical, that then ended up in that unfortunate end for the gentleman. And I pray comfort for his family. But you know what, Sissy, I want us to be responsible for what we do have control over. And in that sense, if you make a choice, please make it as wisely as you can. Yes, we cannot see into the future in terms of what the consequence would be, but try not to make choices recklessly. That's the encouragement we're giving you. We are two Nigerian women. We hope you've enjoyed the podcast, and we hope you reflect that by subscribing on any of the platforms you're listening to us on, as well as, interact with us. Send us a comment, a topic you or a question on what we've just spoken about that you want us to address, and we will get to it. We'll address it as soon as we can. But please provide any details so we understand your question. If we don't understand the question, we cannot answer. Okay.
Hmm.
So on that note, I will say bye and God bless. Sissy.
Bye. See you on the next episode and have an amazing week.
Yes,
Bye.
stay safe. Huh? Okay then. Bye. Bye.